I'm not going to do this without pants. Oh, heck, it already started. Forget it. I'll do it. Well, howdy, everybody. It's me, a.k.a. the Wizard, John Zidar. You have tuned in to On Top and Hot Live, where we're going to talk about hot penny stocks. At least I hope they're hot. Can't blame me if they're not. These are all coming from you, the viewers. I've got some already done, some preliminary due diligence. We can dive right into it. But I didn't get as many as I normally get. I don't know where everybody went today, but that's okay, because that leaves us more time to cover stocks that I'm getting through the show, which I haven't had any time for. And God, I don't know when we did it last. So we're going to dive right on into this. We're not going to waste any time. We want to look at stocks. That's why you're here, right? I mean, the good looks don't hurt, but you want to look at stocks. So welcome, everybody. I appreciate you all being here, whether you're watching this live or recorded. It doesn't matter to me. The fact that you're watching is fantastic. I appreciate your time. So let's jump right on into this, folks. I do have everything lined up. Let me see. Where is everyone? Mark, are you here? Making sure. Yes. All right. I'm just looking at comments, making sure you can see me, making sure you can hear me before I dive into all this work and then have someone say, "We can't see you." I'm looking. Okay, we're good. All right, we're going to get rid of that. So we've only got three, I think, lined up here. A couple from here that you've asked for, and one that came from Twitter. Got it just a few minutes ago. I've got that lined up too. So let's dive on into this. Make sure I hit all my buttons so you guys are with me. I've got my backup computer here so I can see what you see. And of course, yes, I've got my notes. So the first one we're taking a look at is ticker SMX, which just had a humongous jump on the charts, folks. Let me see. Yeah, you're with me. I think we should take a look at that. Look at this, folks. Look at that jump here. I'll get rid of that. This is where, somewhere in here is where I was told to take a look at it. And then it did this just at the end of the day. Went from $104 up to $167. Folks, that's over a $60 jump right there. Egads. Now, the thing here is we're not really interested in looking at the stock. We're going to take a look at the warrant. But you need to know what's up with the company because the warrant's attached to the stock. So, SMXW. Let's take a look at this company. I've got some notes here. The company has been around for a long time. They're involved with anti-counterfeiting, brand protection, and they're going a lot further than that. They had all of these different camouflage ways of marking your products with secret stitches and all sorts of invisible inks and stuff like that. But now they've gone beyond, folks. You know how we've been able to move information through light, fiber optics, right? We've been able to move information through frequencies in the air. Well, now we're able to move information through ingredients. We are actually able to put information into molecules, then put those molecules into anything. It doesn't matter if it's plastic, wood, gold, or anything else. Once those molecules are in that substance, they're there. Permanently, they're there. You can't get them out. All you got to do is scan it and read the information. It'll all come up. And that's what's going on right now. They have been doing this with gold. Now, they've been doing this with a lot of stuff, but it really hasn't been catching fire. Now they're doing it with gold. Now we're talking fire, right? You just seen the charts. So SMX, Public Limited Company. This is a company out of Ireland. She finished today at 18.5 cents. That's what it says here. And they're up 36%. Really? Oh, no. Okay, let's slow down here. I'm used to looking at the company. So when we look at the company's having a heck of a day, right? We're up to $139 right now, up 138%. Now, the warrant is what Velmore wants to look at. The warrants are normally way cheaper than the stock, normally penny stocks. And when the stock gets hot, the warrant normally gets hotter. While the stock is doing millions of shares, the warrant will be doing 10,000, 100,000, something like that, and it'll be going twice the distance. it'll be doing 200, 300, 400% gains. So I'm not saying that's all the time, but in a lot of cases, you'll see the warrant go further and farther than the stock does that same day. The stock is the catalyst for the warrant. Now, what is a warrant? You're saying, I don't know if I want to buy that or not. It's just a stock. It's got a special name, but it's a stock. You can get in, get out, anything like you normally do and make your gains. Don't let it worry you. If you want to play it like a warrant, it has extra options. It has extra benefits like rights. Rights are coupons. Warrants are coupons. They both allow you to buy a share of the company stock at a guaranteed low price. Rights are in the front door in the next few months, and warrants are in the back door 3-5 years down the road. Now, the warrant may say you're allowed to buy a share at $1.50 anytime in the next 3 to 5 years. Well, the stock may be at $1 right now. And you say, well, I'm not going to do that. It's not a good deal. Yeah, but in 3-4 years, it could be $139 and you'd be paying $1.50 for a $150 stock. Would you do it? Of course you would. How many warrants you got? That's how Warren Buffett makes millions, maybe billions of dollars, is on these warrants in the back end. So we have a lot of heat running around this company right now. And there is no need to look at the float. There is no need to look at the financials. None of that stuff really has anything to do with the warrant. The warrant is only running on the heat and the momentum of the stock. It doesn't matter what's going on with all that other stuff. That is all about the company stock. When the company stock runs, this is a trailer behind that horse. And it's off and going. So what did we get today? It's moving right now, right? After hours. That's what you get with these major exchange stocks. A lot of movement, pre-market, aftermarket, which you never get with OTC. We are now up to almost 20 cents. She's up now 45%. There are no float details over here. Now, there is a certain number of warrants. There is not an endless number, but I have no clue what it is. You can find out if you want to do due diligence, but it really has nothing to do. It doesn't affect the price. There could be 1 million of them or there could be 2 of them. It really doesn't matter. The warrant's going to go up or the warrant's going to go down based on the stock's heat, and that's all that really matters. Now, when you get into these warrants, the most important thing that you got to remember is to take your gains as soon as you see it moving, because they're not going to keep running like stocks do. Once the stock cools off, man, warrants will fall. A lot of times they'll come right back down, so you need to take those gains. Now, if the stock keeps running and keeps running, you can see some huge runs. This warrant right here, at $139, this warrant could easily go over $1. It could easily go to, well, let's put it this way. In most warrants I have seen, the price of the warrant is 8 to 12% the price of the stock. Well, 10% would be $13, $14. That's what the warrant should be worth in most cases. So what are we looking at there for growth? Oh my God, we're 1/5 of $1. 14 times 5, 50, 90, that's 90 times. 90 times it could go up. It is possible, folks. You think I'm out of my mind. Warrants can do some incredible things because they have hidden value. And people who have money know that. And when a stock starts getting expensive like this, people want them warrants. They're not looking to trade them like me and you. They're looking to get them and hang on to them. They're going to hang on to them for 3 to 5 years and then cash them in. Or maybe sooner than that if they're already viable and they can exercise them. So let's take a look now at the chart for SMXWW. Well, you know, before I go, I do want to give you a little heads up here. They have a lot going on over here. There is lots of news. They are working with lots of different places, but you're going to notice here that gold is the biggest thing that they are focused in on. And I want you to jump over here and read some of this news because this is really new technology. And they say that this is going to disrupt the gold industry. And that is a huge industry. Gold is up there more than Bitcoin. You know, it's the most important commodity in the whole bloody world. So I'd be looking at this right now. Now let's go take a look at that chart. So there's the chart for the company. We got to look at that already. She's taken a drop. Aftermarket, she is falling real fast. She's gone from that 167 down to about 120. Ooh, boy, that's like $47 drop right there. But she took a $65 jump. We got to expect some pullback. So let's take a look now at the warrant. Let's see what sort of activity it's been getting. Stop. There you go. All right, let's go back 1 year just so we can get a feel. Not much, right? She's just been hanging down here. She's had some days, some pops here and there, but nothing to get really excited about. This is exciting. She is off and running. We were down here at 2 cents. 2 cents, and right now we're at 26 cents. Folks, that's 13 times 1,300% gains. If you had bought just $100 worth, super duper cheap, $100 worth down here, you would have had $1,300 up here at the top if you had sold there. Now, I would hope you didn't sell at the top. Why? Because you were lucky. You didn't find the top. You were just hoping for it. Look, folks, when you get runs like this, going parabolic, straight up, crazy, sell on the rise because it's going to come down. It's running out of fuel. It's burning that fuel up very, very quick, that rocket stock, and then it's going to stop like a baseball and come right back down. So sell as it's going up with a market. Put in a market order. Don't even worry about picking a price. If the price is rising, you see it there at 140. You hit sell market. Whoa, it's 152. That's right. You got more. But if you wait for it to turn over on the other side and start falling and you start to sell, it's falling as you're putting in your order. And if you're looking for an exact price, chances are you're missing it over and over and over again. So you got to put in a market order, and still it goes lower than what you were hoping for. So for bloody heck's sake, folks, sell on green bars going up. I know that seems contrary to what you should be doing. It's still rising. Why should I get out? Because it's safe. Take some gains and mitigate your risk. Don't wait for things to go sour to make a positive move. That's negative reaction to a negative situation. Do a positive reaction to a positive situation. Honestly, it works out better for you. So we've got a wild rip here, and she seems to be hanging out, at about 20 cents right now up here. Let's come on down to let's take a look at our 4 hour. Don't look a whole lot different. Take a look at our 1 hour. There's a difference. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's been a whole week. A whole week. She was down there at 2 cents, and she has been climbing, riding this 20-day MA. There's your clue. When she fell down here, you're looking at your 1 minute going, oh, this is bad. I'm out. Well, the 1 minute is going to scare you all the time. Always back up. Go to your 5, 15, 30-minute chart. Go back further and further and see if she is sitting on top of a strong MA like she's doing here. I'm sure this looked really bad on the 5 minute, as we're going to see. But here it's okay. And we've got a nice bounce here. Now, I'm expecting a pullback. I expect her to come back probably to the 20. I'd be looking for some sort of snag after it hits the 20 and bounces back up. Now, as I said, we've got to watch the stock. The stock is going to be what makes this warrant move. If the stock cools off, chances are the warrant won't even move except downward. Last thing I want to point out to you folks is your bid and ask. Right now, we're at 23 cents for the ask and 18 cents for the bid, which is pretty close. Not bad at all. Well, this is your level 2. These are your people that want to buy. These are your people that want to sell. And what happens is you normally get a very big spread. When there is no heat in the chart or things are stalling, you'll start to see the spread get wider and wider and wider. So we may be at 20 cents for the ask, and the bid may fall all the way down to 10 cents. And then all of a sudden, it'll jump to 30 cents. But the bid doesn't move. But because you're so excited, you just seen this huge gain come onto the board. You've done the math in your mind. You see how much you've made. You go and you sell it, and you didn't make a penny because the bid didn't move. It didn't move 1 cent. You just got back all you put into it. That's it. You didn't make any money. Always check your bid and ask. Don't be so much in a hurry that you overlook what you're actually selling for. It happens. Trust me. All right. That covers our warrant. Hope that's good for you, Velmore. Let's jump into the next one here. I'm going to take a look at BMCB. This came from Dino Trades. Dino, you gave me 2 tickers. The other one was game, right? GME. Well, that's no penny stock, dude. Not even close. I mean, maybe you were excited. I get it. It's game. We all get excited. Or maybe it was just a bad typo. I'm not quite sure. But in either case, that's why we chose PMCB. PMCB, let's get that bad boy up here. Farm Site Biotech. What did I learn about this? This is a clinical stage cancer and diabetes biotech company. They are also using their investment strategies. The company is like research and development, basically. They're looking for miracle drugs to make $1 billion. But right now, they ain't making no money. And it costs money to do all of that research, all of that development. And when they do find a drug, it's going to cost them millions of dollars to do the drug trials. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Lots of money. Well, you know where they get that money? Me and you, the investors, whether they be big or small. They have to have money from somewhere. But what if they're getting it from someplace else? Could be a crypto treasury. We've seen that before. Or maybe they're just trading stocks like me and you, making money, but they're putting in a heck of a lot more money into these stocks than we are. Well, that's what this company is doing. And they seem to be doing all right with it. And that's really the catalyst we got right now. They had very strong daily volume, very low float. We like that. Low float, lots of volume means an exciting chart. And we have no current filings to consider. That'll save us some time. So PMCB, this is a company out of California. Finished today at $1.22, up almost 56%. She jumped about 43 cents today. This is a hot penny stock in the major exchange on the NASDAQ, where you don't have to pay for your transactions with most brokers. The OTC, you got to pay for those transactions over and over again. You get to trade these pre-market, aftermarket. You don't get to do that with OTC. And there's a lot more money, a lot more volume, and a lot more rules up on the major exchange. And all of that plays into our best interest. So personally, I like the penny stocks on the major exchange better than the OTC just because they're safer, plain and simple. So they tell us here that FarmSite is a clinical stage biotechnology company developing therapies for cancer and diabetes. Now, this is very interesting. Based upon a proprietary cellulose-based live cell encapsulation technology known as cell in a box. Put real simple, they're taking their medicine and they're putting it inside human cells before they're activated. And then they put them right next to the cancer, right next to the tumor, as close as they can, and they activate the drug there. And this is how they're attacking the cancer. When it comes to the diabetes, for type 1 and type 2 diabetes, the company plans to encapsulate human cell line that has been genetically engineered to produce, store, and release insulin in response to the levels of blood sugar in the human body. So basically, you're putting packages of medicine or sugar or whatever you need in human cells so that we can get them into the body and have them sit there waiting to be used when they need to be used. This is crazy science, folks. So what sort of information we got? Let's take a look at the news. We've only got one piece of news. We've got lots of news, but this is all from 2021. We've only got one piece of news from 2025. The company successfully monetizes FEMC stake, strengthening their cash position. I don't know why they keep saying monetize. They sold their shares. That's what they did. The company today successfully sold their stake in FEMSys. This is ticker FEMY. This is the one working with contraception for women. It's been very, very popular. They say that following the sale, the company's cash and marketable securities are expected to increase approximately to $20 million from $13.3. That's a $6.7 million profit. Whoa, how would you like to make that kind of profit with stocks? Wow. But they put a lot of money into it, obviously. I don't know how much, but obviously it was a lot. This transaction highlights the company's ability to identify and execute on high quality opportunities that deliver strong returns. They can trade stocks. Okay, it's part of their business. They can make money doing it. Great. As valued in the most recent filed 10Q, FarmSite has approximately 25 million in marketable securities, so they've got more stock that they can sell, make more money on. Additionally, they have roughly 20 million in cash already. That includes what they just made. Despite this strengthened financial position, the company's stock is still trading at a meager 65 cents with approximately 6.8 million shares outstanding. So now we know how many shares there are. So whatever number we see there, it's 6.8. They just told us that. So they are working on drugs, looking for a miracle drug, and they are trading stock like me and you. And it seems to be working for them. Thank goodness for that. So let's take a look at the relative volume for PMCB. Wow. Wow. This is all excitement because they made a good stock trade. They bought one stock, sold one stock, made a profit. Boom. The volume went up from 2 million to 107 million. Folks, that's incredible. That's over 50 times her normal volume on the major exchange. Share structure PMCB. They got it right. 6.7. Don't know what the insiders own, so I don't know what the float is, but it's a low float. Anything under 10 million is a low float, so that's great. Whatever the insiders own, even if they don't own anything. Market cap for the company is way down there. We're at 5.3 million. Financials. Are they making any money? Well, they just told us that they have money on the books. They don't have anything showing up here, but I do believe, we have a recent 10Q here. This came out 9/15. I did have this stuff highlighted. Okay, what we've got for total assets, we have got 45 million in total assets, which is down a little bit, but not far. But here's the great thing. Look at our total liabilities, 1.5 million out of 45 million. So we are left with almost 44 million in stockholder equity. So the company isn't really making any revenues. They've got nothing coming in. They don't have any products, no drugs. All they're doing is making money with their stock trades, and they're being able to foot the bill. They're covering their own expenses this way. They don't have to keep putting shares on the market and giving us less and less shareholder value. That's why we've got a low outstanding share count, because they're paying their own way for what they're doing. I love that sort of research and development. And I do believe that was everything we needed to see over there. And we've got a Form 4 here. I always like to look at Form 4s because these are when the insiders acquire or dispose of the company's stock. Now, they can do that in a lot of different ways, but I want to know when they buy them or sell them. That can be a token sign to me. If they buy a whole bunch of shares, but I don't see any news or filings, somebody knows something that I don't know. Maybe I should just get in now following the leader, right? But what if they're selling a whole bunch? Better take clue. Better look around. Even if you don't see anything, you better take clue. Well, what we got here is, what do we have here? These are purchases. Oh, my God. Big purchases. Two of them at almost 900,000 shares each. And this is by the company themselves. The company themselves, obviously a 10% or bigger owner, and they've purchased a whole bunch. Now, we got a footnote here. Exercisable 1. Series H convertible preferred stock is converted into shares of common stock. Okay, so they didn't purchase it. It just got converted. Like I said, it can happen in a lot of different ways. So we've just gotten, well, it's less than 1 million, right? We've got 2 million here. Let's just round it up. So if you added 2 million more shares because of the H conversion, we'd still be under 10 million. We'd still have ourselves a low float. So I'm not real concerned about that. And then we've got a new investor, but this is old. It's got an A behind it. But not too old. That's November 14th. That's when this one came out. This is the same one. This is the company buying their 8.4 million shares, 74%. What the heck is this all about? This is Series G convertible shares. All right, so we just had Series H converted shares. They just converted them. Here we're talking Series G convertible shares, and it looks like there's another 8.5 million here. Now, I haven't done a deep dive here, so I don't know where all of these shares are ending up. They could all probably end up in the outstanding share count. So we just added 2 more million, maybe another 8 million. That would be another 10 million on top of the 6 million. Now we're up to 16 million. Now we've got over 50% dilution. That's more than double the outstanding share count if that's the way it all lays out. So some more due diligence needs to be done here, but it does look a little scary. There could be a lot more shares coming into the picture right now. Ooh, I didn't even look at that before. Okie dokie. I do believe we've covered everything we need to except the chart. So let's go take a look at that bad boy. What are you guys doing over here? Do you chart warrant charts the same as stock company? Thank you for that question, Charlie. I appreciate that. Honestly, I don't. Now, it's confusing. The warrants follow the heat of the company stock. So what's going on the chart for the warrant is kind of moot. It's following the horse ahead of it. So it really doesn't matter what's going on here. But when the stock isn't moving, the company stock, and the chart for the warrant starts doing something, then I rely on the chart. But if the common stock is moving, I rely on the heat of that to be my momentum for the warrant. If the stock isn't hot, I rely on the chart for the warrant. So yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So we are now looking at, did I highlight it? I did. Sweet potato pie. What are you doing there? Get over. Here we go. It's such a big chart like that. So we are looking at PMCB. Naturally, we're over here at my free trading platform, Think or Swim, which you can only get from Schwab. So PMCB has been in a downtrend for the last year. We had our 52-week high back in February at $1.90, just breaking over the 200, not attempting to break out, just to break through. Respected that, came back down. What do I mean by respected that? A falling 200, it is rare. 99 out of 100 times, you will never see a stock break out over a falling 200 and just keep going. No, something really wild had to happen in the market, in the news, something big. A falling 200 has precedent. Until that 200 levels out, I would not be looking for a breakout. A breakthrough and a return, absolutely. But a breakout and still run, no. So this hit our high of $1.90, has been falling all this time, hitting our 52-week low of 63 cents at the end of November. Off of that low, we had a very strong bounce to and through the 200 from 63 to $1.21, virtually 100%. Came all the way back down, but this time we've landed on our 9-day MA. That's better than where she was underneath everything here. And went from 77 cents up to $1.48. That's another 100% rip right there. Now, folks, this is why I always say when you see a strong run going straight up, sell. Because when it comes back down, you're going to be able to do it all over again. Boom, there's a second 100% run. Wouldn't you rather take your gains here than come back down and wait for it to climb again and just get it once? Yeah, double dip, triple dip. When you see a parabolic run, take a gain on the green bars. Get used to taking gains as it's rising, because when it falls, you can buy it again. And if it's really excited, like it is, it's going to jump again and you'll be able to profit again. Lots of volume on both of those rips right there. Pretty much the only volume you see for the whole year. Where's the volume? All of our oscillators going to the moon, folks. Every single one is so strong on our yearly chart. This is really an outstanding chart. Coming on down to our 4-hour, it looks like our yearly chart. We got a high of $1.72 all the way back 6 months ago. We got a low, it says, of 60 cents now, not 63. Slipped a little more. Got those two big jumps, and we are definitely over our 200, which is just now leveling out, just now going flat. And the way this has ripped so far up, these highs have strings attached to all of these MAs. That's what makes the MAs move, the price. So when the price gets that high, it pulls all the MAs up, and it's going to make that 200 MA go flat. And this may come back down. I'd look for it to come back down somewhere near the 200 and bounce. With this much power, the 200 going flat and a rising 200 haul at the bottom, absolutely. I think this is just going to come down, regather itself down here, get some fuel, some supplies, and then it's going to take off and it's going to go for a long trip. I think it's ready to run here, folks. All of our oscillators are very strong in our 4-hour chart. 1-hour chart. Steady downhill to that 60 cents, a pop through, right? Not a breakout because it's still a falling 200 MA. Don't expect a breakout. Just get used to that. Came back down, but look at it cleave to that 200 like a monkey, like a magnet right up underneath. It doesn't want to let go. Then it dipped and it rolled right around and it took off, folks. And all of our MAs right now, every single one of them are turned up, climbing, 200 on the bottom, all of them spread nice and evenly. Now our 9 is getting up there. You see that spread between the 20 and that 9? That's concerning. Every MA and the price all have rubber bands attached to them. If any one of them stretch too far away from another, they just come running back. So everything is looking good right now, but we're at that point to where we need to just slow down and go sideways a little bit so that all of these MAs can get a little bit closer to our 9, and then we can take off and rip again. So I would hope that we get a little bit of sideways activity before she starts to climb. Lots of volume today. Again, the only volume we're really getting is on these days where she rips. And all of our oscillators are still on fire on our 1 hour chart. 5 day, 5 minute hasn't been doing anything. Hit this low. Now our low says 70 cents. Come on, make up your mind. What's our low bubble here? 70 cents. She got up on top of that 200 and she has been gaining momentum. See how she's getting steeper and steeper and steeper. And then she hit her high here of $1.49, came back down, broke our 200 haul, came under our 20. Our 20 now is rolling down. That's your steering wheel. The price follows the 20 very strongly. So when you start seeing the 20 roll and the price is near it, watch the price to follow it. And that will normally give you some death crosses. You'll normally start seeing your MAs crossing other MAs. The 20 will then cross the 50. That'll be the next sign this is falling. So I am looking for this now to roll down, take a breather, probably come down to this 200. Sideways activity. We got to cool down, give these other MAs time to catch up on the other charts, and then I'm expecting her to take off. PMCB is looking good, but in my opinion, it's a weak catalyst. I mean, we're running on them making a good stock deal. Yeah, they made good profit. No, that's not bad. But now we've got all these shares coming into the picture being converted. So you're going to have to do some due diligence there if you're invested in this stock or you're thinking about getting into it, because the share count could change drastically all of a sudden here. Final words. Okie doke. PMCB. Thank you very much. Let me come back and see what y'all are doing. I do need a drink here. I need to take a break. Chris, what was your I didn't see it. I never, ever, ever delete anybody's comment unless you use the F word, you know, the one that has the U in the middle and CK at the end. No, not fire truck. The other one. Yeah, that's the only thing I would ever delete. Honestly, you could even call me names. I'd leave that up there. So no, I did not delete your ticker. AGL. Okay, it's up there. CDZI, we have got yours up there. If I keep moving along, we'll be able to get to some of these. Thanks for the tip on CDZI in April. It was under $3. Today it's almost $6. Boom. Well, did I give you the tip or did somebody else on this show? Either way, I'm glad to hear you're making gains watching our show. Just trying to catch up with your comments here. All right, I answered that one. Saga, more buy volume than sell, dumps 12%. This will be a hot stock. Oh, getting volatile. We like that. No, I was cool. VCIG, VSIG. Oh man, that company, I'm still upset with them. That last reverse stock split really hurt me. I'm upset with them. All right, what time is it? 4:33. Well, if we're going to get to all these stocks, I got to keep moving, don't I? I know. I'm doing it. So let me hit my button. You're with me. Very, very good. Next stock is KIT. I do believe this is the last stock I've got. It is. Last stock I've got came from Bingo Long from Twitter. Bingo, you had like 4 or 5 tickers you requested. Dude, takes me like 20 minutes to get through a ticker. You'd be the whole show. Bingo, you kind of like that, don't you? Bingo wants me to look at KIT. He did have others. I just chose the first one up there, KIT, which seems to be a pretty popular stock. A lot of people are familiar with it. This is Nauticus Robots. They develop ocean robots, cloud software to control those robots, and services to take care of those robots. They had very strong daily volume today, real low float. Again, perfect mix, low float, strong volume. Explosive chart. falling revenues. Kind of like that. So let's take a look now at Kit. So we've got a couple of these underwater robot companies, right? I think you got TMC and OMEX and KITT. Maybe there's others. All of them are pretty much looking at the same thing right now. Most of these companies were doing their own thing. One was like treasure hunting from shipwrecks. Had a hard time saying that. And the others were doing scientific studies and stuff like that. But what they're all interested in now is what Trump brought up, these nuggets of critical minerals that are just laying on the ocean floor. I don't know. They get shot out of volcanoes on the ocean floor and just lay all over down there. And all we need to do is go down there and gather them up like eggs and bring them up to the surface, send them off to a facility and process them. Boom, we got critical minerals. So we got lots of companies that are interested in doing that. Nobody's doing it yet, but everybody's getting ready. Plus, there's a lot of other things you can do with these robots underwater. And the big thing now is that we don't need tethers. We don't have to have an umbilical cord attached to these submarines, if you will, these manless submarines, so they can go a lot deeper than they've ever been or we've ever been. Since we don't have to use people, we can use AI, right? So Kit, Nautilus Robots, develops ocean robots, cloud software, and services to the ocean industry. The company offers Aquanaut, an autonomous underwater vehicle with sensor suites, which provides capabilities to observe and inspect subsea assets or other subsea features. Now, I believe some of these robots have arms on them. Yeah, there you go. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. So they can pick up things. You know, there's all sorts of things that they can do with these now. We are just getting there. Without the tether, it's going to be a new world, folks. We're going to be able to find those UFOs. We know they're in there. They're hiding in the ocean. We're going to be able to find them now. All right, let's see what our news is for Kit. Got lots of news here. Not going through all of it. I've picked out stuff I thought was interesting. The company received notice from the NASDAQ October 23rd that their market cap is too low. Their market cap right now is at 21 million. They have to be at 35 million. Yes, they can actually be thrown down to the OTC for not having a big enough market cap. There is a minimum criteria on everything. How many shareholders, minimum in your float, minimum market cap, minimum equity for shareholders, everything. That's why I like stocks upon the major exchange, except here recently, a lot of them have fallen down to the OTC or done reverse stock splits to survive. That has been crippling me. So they can fix this very, very easily. There's only two numbers that come into play with the market cap. The price, get that up, the market cap goes up. But the company can't control that. And the shares, outstanding share count, get that up and the market cap goes up. They can do that. They can put as many shares out there as they can, as long as they have them. I don't know how many shares they have authorized, but that's their bank, however many they have. And they could put another $14 million worth of shares out there, which would be about 13 million shares. They could do that. That would be a 50% dilution, but it would keep them from going down to the OTC. It's almost as bad as a reverse stock split. I know. Back to the news. Dun, 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 dun. This was the last time we looked at it. We did look at it maybe a couple months ago. They made a deal with this company, AOS, which is down in Stuart, Florida. I used to live in Stuart, Florida, a couple of decades ago. And they've got these small inland lakes down there. There's a lot of lakes in Florida. And they are now using these lakes to test and work on their submarines. And it gives them a place to showcase their submarines to customers without having to go out to the ocean and do all of that crazy stuff. So this is something they just got into, and they were quite excited about doing all of this. Give me my highlights. Nobotics secures $250 million equity facility and launches strategic initiative to enter deep sea rare earth mineral exploration market, which is what I'm telling you, folks. This is what everybody wants to do. They want to start getting those critical minerals at the bottom of the ocean. And you've got to apply to the government to get your license to do it. And that's what everybody is starting to do right now. I don't have any details about this piece of news. I didn't have time to dive into it. You may want to. And then jumping through all of this, we're getting to our third quarter 2025 financial results, which are actually listed over here. So we'll just look at them. Over the last year, the company has been falling in their revenues, going from 8 and 11 million down to 6 million, down to 1.8 million. But worse than that, they're losing profits. Wow. We were at 1.7 million 4 years ago. Now we're minus 8 million. We're making less money and we're losing more money. Not good. Quarterlies. Well, we were doing pretty bad a year ago. We were at 370,000, losing a lot of money. Now our revenues are up. Wow, we're up there to 2 million and we're still losing a lot of money, as much as we were losing back then. It seems it really doesn't matter how much revenue they pull in. They're still losing that same amount, about 1.5 to 2.2 million every quarter. How do you stay in business like that? Balance sheet for the company. Cash and cash equivalents, the bank. We got 5.5 million. Total assets is 42. Total liabilities, 46, 47. So we're holding stockholder deficit. We are holding about 4.1 million of the company's debt. How about that? We're not too excited about that. What was the relative volume around the company today? Well, that's exciting. She's jumped from 3.5 million up to 82 million. What's that? 4, 2, that's like 20 times her normal volume, which is 2,000% increase. So we had a lot of extra volume come in today, not on any real catalyst. I don't see any catalyst in the news. And looking at her filings, oh, we do have an 8K that just came out today. Let's see what this says. Material definitive agreement. That tells me I need to read more. If that doesn't look interesting to me, I'm out of here. So then I jump into the first paragraph. Yesterday, the company and certain institutional investors entered into an exchange agreement for a secured convertible loan. That's what they're getting. They're getting a loan. Wait a minute. Shite. Okay, the exchange agreement further amended the securities purchase agreement. Oh, God. And contains certain covenants of the company. Among them are this. Geez. All right. There's going to be a stockholder meeting no later than March 3rd of 2026. Now, that's a long ways off. So what the hell am I bringing this up for? Because I just seen some horrible information here. They will be seeking approval for a reverse stock split. Darn it. They will be looking to do a 1 in 250 reverse stock split. 1 in 250, folks. Oh my God. So think of it this way. If you own this company and they go through with this reverse stock split and you're just 1 penny down, you're 1 penny down. After the reverse stock split, you will be $2.50 down from the price. If you're 10 cents down, multiply 10 cents times 250. That's how far down you are. And then you got to worry about your average price. This is how I'm losing money, folks. When a stock does a reverse stock split, they kick the price way up. And then for the apparent reason, the price comes back down because people are pissed that they just lost all their damn shares, especially on a super cheap stock. So you may want to be very cautious here, even though it's in March. If you're going to get in and out between now and March, great, no problem. But otherwise, I'd be very careful about getting into this for a long hold. There's more information here, folks. There's a lot of covenants. There's something here about Series C preferred stock, which is starting at $1,000 per share. That's going to be bringing in a lot of money. So there's a lot of information in this one 8K. I believe that's what it was. Yeah, that 8K. I'm afraid to look at this other one. This came out 2 days ago. There you go. That's even straight to the point. This is saying what I just found in that other one. They're going to have a shareholder meeting on, is it still saying March on this one? No, they just had one. They just had one and they are completed. They voted to, let's see what they're doing. convert Series B shares to regular shares. I don't know how many that is. Approve a special meeting, another special meeting. Goodness gracious. I don't like when they have all these. Oh, and there you go. What are they doing? They just increased their authorized share count from 625 million, wow, to 5 billion. See, that's scary, folks. They just went from, let's just call it a half a billion so we can round it up easily, to a half a billion to 5 billion is tenfold. Now, that's not going to bother our shareholder value. Authorized share count is just their bank. That's where they get to put all their shares. Now, they could put some of those on the shelf and they could sell them to us, put them out there. That's going to give us shareholder dilution. But they could use them to make deals with other companies, buy a company, use some incentive packages, give a whole bunch of shares to big execs to come into the company. But in most cases, when they do that too, that just goes on to the outstanding share count. They're coming out of the authorized shares, going on to the market in one way or another, and that is going to dilute our shares. So we're jumping. They've already approved it from 625 million to 5 billion shares. They've got ideas. They've got plans. They're going to be doing something. So we're going to watch for that. So that is one shareholder meeting done. They've added a whole bunch of shares and a new meeting coming up in March of next year where they want to do a reverse stock split, right? Now, I just want to take a quick look here. So we got 13 million. They just increased their share count to 5, their authorized shares to 5 billion, and they're talking about a reverse stock split more than 6 months from now, right? 5 months. I'm thinking between now and then, they plan on putting a blitz of shares on the market. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they want to make a whole bunch of money. They're going to get a whole bunch of shares out there, and then they're going to do that reverse stock split and pull all those shares back into the bank. Ugh, I don't like that at all. That's quite scary to me. So that covers everything for Kit. Well, everything we could find. I'm sure there's more information you're going to want to look at. So let's go take a look now at Kit on the chart. That's the 5 minute. Let's go back to a year. Ooh. All right. There's one reverse stock split right there. We got a 1 and 9. I don't know if there's any more. So I do believe what they have probably done here. Yeah, because that is on the 5th. And that's the 5th right there. We do not see a big green bar, right? So when they had the reverse stock split and they kicked the price up 9 times, we would normally see a big green bar there shooting the price up 9 times. So it would have gone somewhere from, I don't know what the price was. It went up 9 times, but they don't do that anymore. What they do now is they multiply every number, every price on the chart, every single number as far back as the chart goes. It could go back 20 years. They multiply every number by the ratio of that split. So everything on the chart from that purple bubble back from the reverse stock split has to be divided now by that ratio of 9. So our 52-week high of $54.36 has to be divided by 9 if you want to get the real price. And if there was another reverse stock split, say they do one for 250, right? Say they do that. You are going to have to take this 1 and 9 split and multiply it times 250. 9 times 250. Whatever that comes out to is something like, I don't know, 2250 or something like that. And that's going to have to be divided into every number because they're going to multiply every number times that. So it's going to get ridiculous, folks. You go over to what used to be, oh man, I can't even remember the name of the company that had all the reverse stock splits. They had something like 8 or 10 reverse stock splits. You go and look at their old charts. It says that $32 billion was the high one day. Right? And they're never going to fix these charts. They're always going to have the wrong information on them. Why? This is serious information. People that come trading a year from now aren't going to know this. They're going to look and see $54 and go, wow, this stock was really worth something back then. No, it wasn't. It was worth, well, you got to divide that by 9, right? So it's down there at $4 or $5 or $6, but definitely not 54. So after we hit our high, she came right back down as she was supposed to because that is a falling 200. We ain't breaking out. We're just breaking through. Came back down to where she was. That's how you know she behaved. She followed the rules. They come back down to where they started. And she just kept going sideways. But look, now our 200's basically flat. Where's our breakout attempt? Where's our push throughs? Where's our excitement? I see nothing. That's not good. She pushed up here and then jumped away. It's getting worse. She's falling away from a falling 200 again. It was flat. She had an opportunity to break out and she missed it. That is concerning to me. Right now, we have just hit our 52-week low. And the nice thing I see happening right now is that 52-week low is getting a bounce. The very next bar is bouncing up and she is pushing up. Now, there's a lot of people out there that shop 52-week low, 3-year low bubbles. When they see it pop up, they go do some due diligence. They jump into the financials, the fundamentals. They know what they're looking for. They're looking for value. And if this price is too low, the stock's undervalued, they'll jump into the stock. A lot of people who shop low bubbles will jump into the stock. And not only will it bounce, it will climb. It will start to push up and get a nice run off of it. That's how you know the stock was undervalued. Right now, that's what's showing up here. It's looking good. Everything is pushing up. Volume's in the picture. Let's come on down to our 6-month, 4-hour. $13, it says the high is. Can't trust it. That is behind the 9 split. She's been in a downtrend, had a big fall there, kept falling. Right now, we're getting some activity, aren't we? Yesterday, she came. Oh, look at that. Beautiful 200 squeeze. Let me back that up just a little. There's our low bubble. She fell down. As soon as our 200 haul turned up, this thing just ripped. The price pushed herself up to the 50-day. Straight down underneath that, you can see our 200 haul just turned blue, just came up. We are underneath the 200, above the 200 haul, on top of the 50. That is the launch pad, folks, and this is the match. That blue is the match. It lit it. Boom! There you go, folks. To and through the 200. Back down to the 9, to and through the 200, and she is off and running. Now, once she gets through, she's going to pull back 9 out of 10 times because she's tuckered out. She just took a lot of energy running to the 200, breaking through the 200, and running some more. She ran out of gas. So she's going to come back down either to the 200 or the next MA underneath it normally. There she'll regather herself and bounce if she's got volume coming in. All of our MAs are pushing up. Our full bars are sitting on the 9. Yes, we are underneath it a little, but the bars are on the 9. They are not under it, the full bar. That's what we're looking for. The full bar, either under it or on it or above it. Right now, we're still on it and above it. So we're looking good. Our 200 is just now going flat. The opportunity for a breakout is presenting itself right now. All of our oscillators, they're still warm. There was a lot of pullback today, right? Today was a hard day, but look at all the heat still sitting in the chart after an entire day of pullback. Coming down to let's look at our 30-minute. Solid rip yesterday. Wow, was that beautiful. Then we had a nice solid rip in the morning. She went from $1.77 to $2.44 pre-market. And then she started falling before the bell, after the bell, and through the whole day. Right now, she is starting to show some turnaround, but I wouldn't expect it. No, not yet. Look, up here, we've got a 200 MA, a 200 haul falling. We've got our 50 falling, our 20. The steering wheel is pointed down. Nope. And our 9-day, she's under the 9. So I think she might come up, hit her head on that 20 and come right back down and hit the 200. This is where she's probably going to get her strength back. And from here, she may start to climb if we get our volume back. Volume is key. Without the volume, what do you get? Nothing. You get nothing. With the volume, you get everything. You get cha-ching, money in your pocket. So we need the volume to come back into this. All of our oscillators right now have hit the floor. Everything has hit the floor and starting to come up right now. Now we see that, but I'm still looking at that roll over there on our 30-minute. Let's come on down to our 5-minute. Ooh, see? Wow. Very strong coming down. All of them. And here it is, our price hitting the 20. Now on our 15-minute. I thought it was 5. I'm expecting this to come down a little bit lower. I know it looks like she could bounce here, but that is a lot of down pressure. Again, though, all of our oscillators are on the floor. They're trying to come up right now. So right now is a real good time to be watching, Kit. I'm not excited about the shares. I'm not excited about the revenues. I like what they're doing. If they can get into the critical minerals and actually start doing that, that would be great. But right now, to me, the chart shows heat, but the company's not showing as much. So I'm thinking that the chart may start to lag. So I'd be cautious about how much money you put into this and how long you stick around in it. That's just my personal opinion. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Okie dokie, let me come on back. See what you all are doing. You having a party without me? What's this? 207 quadrillion all-time high. Who was that for? It's that car company, that EV electric car company. I can't remember the name of it. They just changed their name to another EV electric car company and tried to do another reverse stock split and couldn't do it. And they're down on the OTC now. Finally, damn it. All right, Mullen. Thank you, my friend. Mullen. God, you know how bad that hurts when you can't find the ticker? You know it. You just can't find it. Thank you, my friend. You used to manage a bar in Stewart in the early 90s. When was I there? I was there in the early 80s. Yeah, I had just gotten out of the Navy and I had just gotten down there. I was 22 years old. That was hard times, man. I was homeless. I was homeless for 9 months in Stewart, Florida. And you know the worst part about it? It wasn't the heat, though that was hell. It wasn't the critters. No, it was the water. I couldn't find fresh water to drink anywhere. I mean, you just don't go putting your face down in any puddle, any river. You'll get it bit off. There's all sorts of critters out there. So I would have to sneak up to houses and drink water out of them, especially at night. I take showers of people's hoses, their sprinkler systems at night. God, that was hard times. That was a long time ago. Are you still in DTREF? No, I took my gains. I think I got in at 3 cents, got out at 11 cents. I see she kept going. I did pay my $50 to get in. I paid my $50 to get out. I still made a profit. I still think they're worthy of looking at. But again, there's another company that's making changes. They have bought another mine. They look like they're going to be putting more shares on the market. I thought they were all funded. I thought they were just going to get in there and start doing their thing. But again, this is one of those critical mineral companies that has the go-ahead from Trump. We just haven't seen any real activity coming from any of this area yet. While he keeps talking to China about critical minerals, he's not going to pull back. We're not going to leave the ocean floor alone. We're not going to leave the mines alone. We're going to get it from wherever we can get it and keep getting it, regardless how much we get from the rest of the world. Just needs to catch up, I guess. Okay, any more questions there? 9 reverse stock splits. Ridiculous, wasn't it? Oh my God. All right, what time is she? We're at 5 o'clock. Looks like I am coming down here. And the first one I saw, let's see here. John, loved your BBAI video. Oh, thank you very much. I always think I can do better on them. I always think, and I'm sure I can. So I appreciate you appreciating it. Hope it's helping you. That is the reason I put these out. You know, YouTube don't pay me anymore. They kicked me off for 3 or 4 months, said my videos were harmful and dangerous to the community. That's what they told me. They said I was leading people on, said I was giving you false information about how safe these stocks were. I don't think I do that. In either case, they let me get back on, but they refuse to pay me now. They say I will not ever make any money, but I can share my information. Thank you very much. They even took away my cup, my tip cup. You used to be able to tip me. I don't get that anymore. C'est la vie. Do you chart warrants? Oh, you already said that one. Okay. I was looking for that first ticker. Was it QC? Yes, Kashera. Gotcha, my man. Gotcha. I told you. QCLS has been a very hot stock today. Let's get that out of there. Let's come on over here. Nope, that don't work. You can't see me, can you? No. I got to hit my button. There you go. So we are looking at QCLS. Nope. QCLS. Try it again. Is that right? I do believe that's right. Let me make sure. I got to check here, folks. QCLS, it is. Okay, QCLS, very hot today. We were playing it over at Penny Boys from the start of the day to the end of the day. Not only on my page, it was being played on a couple of other pages. We have swing trade pages. We have my momentum page. We're playing scalps all day. And there were lots of people talking about this stock over there. QCLS, this is QC Technologies, company based out of New York. Finished the day at $6.92. She was a lot higher earlier. She is up just under 50%, jumping $2.25. Boom! This is a hot penny stock on the major exchange, coming with all those benefits I mentioned to you earlier. So QCLS, what do? They are a clinical stage pharmaceutical company that focuses on developing and commercializing therapeutic platforms based on therapeutic targets. Okay, can you be more specific? What's this? It also develops Supra CBD, a synthetic analog of a derivative of a cannabinoid to treat various conditions, including epilepsy, pain, anxiety, and depression. Okay, let's take a quick glance over here at their website. Maybe we see something here. Global rights to innovative light speed computing accelerator for use in our cryptocurrency applications. All right, this is all new to me. Let's see. The company today announced it has entered into a licensing agreement for an innovative processing accelerator designed to expedite compute intensive computations in partnership with LightSolver, a company recognized by Gartner, the World Economic Forum, for its breakthrough innovation. TNF holds exclusive rights to use of its computing technology in cryptocurrency and blockchain applications. The company intends to change its name in accordance with the new venture. Okay, so about us. So they threw that on their About Us page? No. So I don't know if they're going to continue on with their CBD Supra, which is 8,000 times more potent than CBD, which is outstanding. Maybe they're just going to sell that off. They've got some lead candidates here that they're working with. I don't know what they're doing with any of these. Looks like they're moving into AI like everybody is doing. So they're probably selling off this other, or it could be another stream. But honestly, folks, a lot of these pharmaceutical companies take more money running than they actually make. It's just better to get rid of them and get into something that's all digital. Doesn't cost you any money to operate this stuff. It's just a lot cheaper to go digital. So let's see what the news is for this company. It's probably got to do with this quantum. There it is. So we're talking quantum computing, not AI computing. TNF Pharmaceutical announces name change to QC Technologies. So they've already changed their name. The new ticker will be QCLS. So it's already happened. We're just catching up. The company appoints Stephen Frankel as their senior quantum advisor to advance photonic and quantum class computing. Whew. And the company introduces proprietary QC LPU 100 brand of quantum class laser processing units. Oh my God, who knows what that is? Quantum laser processing units. What the heck is this? Breakthrough LPUs designed to compute at quantum class speed using natural light instead of electrical signals to achieve quantum computer speeds. This is set to outpace GPUs and QPUs with higher speed, efficiency, scale, and sustainability. All right, we're not going to dive into this, but it says they have demonstrated speeds 100 times faster than what we're already doing. Light speed, that's what they're calling it, right? 100 times faster. This is just getting outrageous, folks. It's moving way faster than we're going to be able to keep up with. Is there any other news that we can take a look at there? Minimum bid price. We're way over that. They fixed that, right? That was back in September. They were under $1. Got that problem fixed. And it doesn't look like they needed to do any reverse stock splits to do it. It is possible. So what was the relative volume around the company today? Egads. Wow. From just over 500,000 shares a day on the major exchange for the last 30 days to over 90 million today. You're looking at 170 times her regular volume, 17,000% increase. Is that right? That's right. That is incredible, folks. Wow. Going to be watching this tomorrow. Outstanding share count. Ooh, very low. 4.1 million. Wow, folks. Now think about that. You need to put that into your brain. We just saw here 90 million shares were sold today. Now let's just do simple math. Call that 5 million. 90 into, or 5 into 90, right? That's going to give you 18. That means every share, actually more, had to sell 18 to 20 times today. Folks, that is better than a short squeeze. That's all positive supply and demand. People want these shares, and there's just not enough of them to go around. People are hoarding them, hanging on to them, and the price goes up and up and up. And it was a lot higher. I think we got close to $8 today. Market cap for the company, we are up there at 20 million. Financials, is the company making any money? Oh. Quarterly? Oh. Balance sheet? Oh. Let's take, let me see here. I may be able to shortcut this instead of diving into something. Do I have it somewhere here? I brought over there. I brought over Yahoo just in case we ran into this situation. Let's see if we can get some financials up here real quick. Nothing's quick on Yahoo in case you haven't noticed. Oh, well, there's your financials, folks. Total revenues over the last 4 years, 0. TTM is trailing 12 months. How much money they made in the last 12 months? 0. How much is it costing them? Whew, thank God, nothing. How much are they losing? Well, not anything here, but it is costing them $8 million to run their operation. So that is minus $8 million right there. They had some other income come in from somewhere. So it's about 7.7 million, 7.8 million in debt just for being in business. So they're not making any money right now. And you don't get the liability and interest over here, so I can't actually tell you that right now. So we're going to have to bypass that. Let's take a look at some other filings here. We got, this is normally about shares. 6.5 million shares. That's a strange number. I bet this is a resale. This prospect relates to the resale, selling shares for stockholders. How about that? The company sells shares for some of their big stockholders. Why don't they just go on the market and sell them like me and you? I don't know. But we don't have to worry about this 6.5 million being added to the outstanding share count. They're already on the market. They're just being resold by the company for a lazy investor. Effect. Oh, shite. This I don't like to see. Effect is just a very short boom. That's the gun. The race is on. This tells us they just put shares on the market. Maybe that is what they just did. Doesn't always mean that they're new shares, but it does mean shares have been put on the market. Here's a quarterly report that just came out. You're going to get all the information about this company here. It's more than just money. You want to know how many institutions are invested in this company, how much the insiders are being paid. All that information is in here. Everything is here from the day they were incorporated. So leave Google alone. Don't go running around through all their news presses. Just get into a 10Q or a 10K. You're going to get all the information you want. And once you learn how to read one of those, you're going to be able to read any 10K or 10Q because they're all the same. They're all laid out the same. Last thing I want to look at here is this Form 4 insiders, right? What? What the heck? All right, I'm a bit confused here. Look, Farmsite Biotech. But then we got this name, QC Technologies. This is the same amount of shares. What the heck? I'm confused here. I'm confused here. So somehow Farmsite Biotech is involved with QC Technologies. Have we missed something here? And this is the exact same number, just under 900,000 shares. Some more due diligence needs to be done here, folks. We got two companies we have looked at that are sharing filings here. Now, this was not in the filing when I looked up Farmsite Biotech. They didn't have that name written there. So something interesting is really going on here. This is this is, oh, look at all these 4 and 4s. Let me check these out. All right. These are restricted shares. These are not buys. These are not sells. 17, 17. How about this one on the 14th? Restricted shares. Okay. So none of those are buys or sells. We're not worried about those. So something here is going on with PMBC or whatever that ticker was and QCLS. We're going to need to do some more due diligence there. That just blew my mind to see those two companies on the same filing. I had no idea what's going on there. Maybe the other biotech is buying up this company's biotech stuff. Maybe. I don't know. Did we cover everything here? Yes, we did. Blew my mind. I'm kind of lost. So let's go take a look at the chart. We've been looking at this chart all day, so I should have some markings. I do have markings. Now, I never looked at the long chart. I never care when I'm scalping. So let's go back and see what our yearly chart looks like. Ooh. All right. I don't see any reverse stock splits here. That doesn't mean she hasn't had any. She could have, because we got a very high price here. Right now, we are down here at $6.44. A year ago, we were at $164. Are we buying that? I don't know. And our 52-week low is $2.50, which hit in the middle of November. Now, we did take a huge fall here at the end of January, whatever the price was. I don't know. It says here it was $122 and it fell, oh, geez, and it fell down to $50. So you're talking over 50% fall. Whatever the prices were, that's over 50% fall. Took a little jump here, giving false hope. There was no way it was going to start to run. These MAs are too far up and they're all falling down. So this was just a cheapskate. Started falling again, has continued falling. We are in a 200 squeeze, but she isn't doing a whole lot with it, is she? She is right now. I'm going to get rid of this, but I'm pulling it back because I want you to see this. I'm going to take that away. We have a rising 200 haul, a falling 200 MA, and the price just now got on the 50-day MA. That's the launch pad. This is our match. She is being lit and ready to fly. Where? That's right. That's right. To and through that 200 MA. You know, there's a lot that looks weak, but I see hope. Whenever I see this setup, I see an 8 out of 10 chance that she is going to run. She belongs on my watch list just because of that setup. When I go looking for stocks to share with you, I'm looking for that. Normally, I'm looking for it on a 4-hour chart, but that is what I'm looking for, a setup where everything is already in place to run. All of our oscillators are pushing up and showing heat. They're just now starting to do that. Take a look at our 6-month, 4-hour downhill trend. Strong. Now, this is what I like to see. Look at these big rips. Big pushes up to that 200, through that 200, not trying to break out, but giving us days to make money as she's falling. I like to make money on a stock as she's falling. And she's been falling a long time with a lot of opportunities here. She hit a low bubble here at the end of August, beginning of September, $1.13, sideways, and then she leached onto that 200. Just would not get away from that 200. And then right here, we have a perfect setup for a 200 squeeze, but she was slow to take the bait. Here, our 200 haul is turned up with our 200 MA falling. She's on top of the 50. Man, she is banging her head up against that 200. She wants out bad. She came down, and that's the last act you normally see to bounce off the 200 haul. You will see it come all the way down through the 50 to the 200 haul and bounce. Happens a lot. That's why I'm used to seeing this. So she came right to where she needed to, and there she went. She started her jump at about $3.30 and went to $8.30. Whoa, that is a serious run there, folks. That is almost 300%, definitely 250%, riding on that 9-day MA. So if you were panicking, looking at your 5-minute, looking at your 1-minute, calm down. Get into a habit of backing up to these longer charts. See if she's sitting on top of a strong MA floating. Then relax when you go back to your charts that don't look so good. Draw confidence off of this. Now, what we are concerned about is it's too far up above that 9. That rubber band can only stretch so far. Now we're getting distance. Not only is our price way up here, but the bottom of the bar isn't even touching. That's a concern. It needs to come back down to the 9, or we're going to have a pullback hard. And then she could come all the way back down to the 20. Now, right now, everything does look powerful. All of our MAs are nicely combed out, turned up, climbing. All of our MAs are in power mode, pushing up. We've just had 2 days back-to-back of strong volume. This is looking mighty good to me. Take a look at our 20-day 1-hour view. It's strong. We had that low here about 2 weeks ago of $2.50, and she has been slowly trying to push up. All of our MAs are climbing as the price was going sideways. You can see all of our MAs are coming up. They're working higher and higher. Here we have a bounce off of that 200, and she's off and running, folks. And when she did come down off of the 9, it was only down to the 20. She hit that 20, not even needing these strong supports. Just, that's right, supports. Our MAs are supports. They support the price. And as this price climbs, it gets lighter. And now it only needs the 9-day, and it's pushing up. This is beautiful. Our 1-hour chart says no fear. No fear. Lots of volume. All of our oscillators are pushing up. RSI is up there at 82. Everything is looking really, really juicy. 5-day, 5-minute. Well, she looks strong. After hours, she has hit a new high of $8.27. She's pulled back to about $7.70, and she is on top of the 9-day, riding that up over top of a rising 20, and everything else is climbing. All of our oscillators are climbing. Folks, nothing looks weak. Nothing looks like it wants to fall. It doesn't mean it can't change trends. You've always got to be leery, but this looks good. Everything is looking very strong right now. She had a lot of volume today, right? So I'd be putting this on my watch list for tomorrow. I'd definitely be watching for it pre-market. Absolutely be watching for it pre-market. There could be a strong bounce at 4 in the morning when a lot of these markets allow people to trade. My market and a lot of other markets don't allow trading until 7 in the morning. So then look for another jump at 7 in the morning. Boom, catch that second jump. And if she goes parabolic, get out. Don't try to ride it through the bell, folks. Best information, best advice I can give. If you get into a stock pre-market and you're taking gains and she's climbing, get out before the bell. At the bell, you're going to have people who have not been paying attention to the aftermarket, pre-market period, had no idea the stock was climbing. Soon as they see it, they're going to sell. They're not going to care why it's climbing. They're not going to do any research. They're going to sell on the spot. And then you're going to have someone show up 2 minutes later who was getting their coffee. They're going to see it's up. It's falling, but it's up from where it was yesterday. They're going to sell. Do you want to ride that? Or would you rather just sell before she falls? Watch it fall after the bell. Let all those sellers get out. Let her hit a floor, start coming in with smart money and start climbing again. And you can take a second ride and get a second gain. This is the way we like to play the pre-market. Get out on a strong gain. Don't ride it through the bell. You do, you'll learn. I've learned. So this is looking excellent, folks. I'd be putting this on my watch list. That's the 15-minute chart. We don't need to go any lower. Whew, my voice. I've almost got one. I'm going to do one more ticker here. Hello, Steven. How you doing? Glad to have you here, buddy. See what's going on. VSIG might be a play for the next couple of days. Cheap minimal share count. I guess we could look at VSIG. You know, VSIG is next in line, isn't it? Let me see. I do go first serve. QCLS. Loved you, BBAI. Stock Wizard. GVO, baby. GVO. All right. USA 4547. I was thinking about VSIG, though I've got an attitude toward them. I post a lot of news about VSIG on Twitter. Go over to my John Zidar account over on Twitter. Put in Zidar VSIG. That'll bring up all the news I put out there. Man, there's a lot of news about VSIG, but I'm not crazy about it. I own it, but I got a super high average, and I'm very upset because I am not making money. So we're going to look at GVO. This comes from Cedar Trees, PNW 1984. We got you covered, my friend. Gevo. Let's get that out of there. Get this up here. Got no notes for Gevo. We're going to play this by ear. Gevo Inc. This is a company on the NASDAQ, giving us all those benefits. This comes from Colorado. She finished the day today at $2.37, up 1.7%, which was 4 cents. So let's see what we can learn about this company. What is it that they do? We've got no description here. We do have a website. Let's see if we can get a quick cost competitive fuels, chemicals, and carbon abatement. Products. Our renewable resource-based jet fuel will be produced with the alcohol to jet route that enables it to be competitive with petroleum-based fuel. We also deliver carbon abatement for growing market segment. We have regenerative farming at the root of everything we do. Okay, so they're working with alternative fuels and chemicals. That's about all we need to know at this point. You can get information on your own time. Let's see what sort of news we got. Let's see. We're down to September here to accelerate a multi-year carbon credit offtake and business expansion. They're doing this with a company called BioRecro. So they've got deals going on. Frontier Infrastructure, in collaboration with Gevo and Verity, launched complete carbon management platform for ethanol industry. 11 company presentations today at Microcap. So if you want to get some information from the company about the company, go check this out right here, and you could probably just see the company's presentation, which is probably going to be very good. We got third quarter financials to consider. Gevo makes first delivery of certified carbon credits to BioRecro, so that deal is working. Gevo completes sale of Lurvine, Minnesota ethanol facility to AE Innovation, retains isobutanol assets for future innovation. So they've sold off something and made some money, but they've kept something because they think they can do more with it. More due diligence necessary. Gevo North Dakota sells its remaining 2025 45Z production tax credits for $30 million, bringing the contracted total for the year to $52 million. So they get tax credits. They're making money with that. We like tax credits. And then their third financial results, consistent performance. Gevo reported $3.7 million loss from operations for the 3 months ended in September, and an EBITDA of approximately $6.7 million for the 3 months ended September. So talking about their financials, let's see what shows up over here. Boo! We don't like this. Boo! You don't like this. Let's go back up and see if there was anything else here we can leech from this. During the third quarter of 2025, we signed a multi-year offtake agreement expected to generate an aggregate of approximately $26 million in carbon dioxide removal credit sales. Let me see. We got a lot of $1 million for, $3.3 to $5 million there, $30 million remaining there, $52 million here. I think this is stuff we just talked about. They got $30 million, total of $52 million. So they got a lot of information here if you've got time to go through all of this. So right now, they did just get $52 million. Even though it doesn't show up anywhere over here, they do have money. What they're doing with that money, I don't know. Now, since we can't see the financials, you know where we're going, right? Boy, I got way too many windows open here. Let me close some of these so that my computer knows what's going on, and so I know what's going on. Wow. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Okay, Gevo. We do want to check out the financials, see if they've got anything coming on. Gevo. Financials. Slowly as we go. They're not doing bad. Yeah, over the last 4 years, this company's been doing quite well, actually. Revenue started off 4 years ago at about $500,000. We just ended the 2024 year at about 17 million. That's huge. That's 34 times or revenues 4 years ago. What are we looking at there? Holy cow. Look at the jump here, folks. We go from 16 million. I had to take a double look. I had to make sure we had 3 zeros. We're adding to this. Yes, we have just jumped in the last 12 months, TTM, trailing 12 months. We just jumped to 120 million, from 16, 17 million to 120 million. Egads. Now, it did cost them a lot. They had to pay 64 million to make that 120 million, but still, they've got 56 million as profit compared to that 5 million they had at the end of 2024. So things are looking good here. And the rest of the information, I'm just going to go on by. Just not as easy to read over there as it is over here. Let's see what we've got for relative volume for the company today. It's down. Yeah, it's down like maybe 1/3, going from 3.8 million down to 2.4 million. Share structure for Gevo, average. I say average. Before COVID, it seems like everybody had a couple 100 million shares. But now, after COVID, a lot of companies have been in desperate shape, have to do a lot of reverse stock splits. Now we've got super low floats all over the place. So we see a stock that has 242 million shares. You think, oh my God, that's a lot of shares. Not really. Not really. It's just seeming like it. I don't know what the insiders own. You know they got something. So we're going to have a float lower than 242 million, but definitely not any higher. Market cap for the company, we're at about $500 million right now. Financials, we've already gone through. Disclosures, anything we can peekaboo at? We've got a couple of Form 4s. They're old, but they are interesting. Maybe. S4 sale, right? You want to look at that code there, P4 purchase. We got a sale. He sold 5,000 shares. That's all. He's got 280,000 shares. Now we got a footnote there. There's a little 1. You see that 1? Okay, so that 1 tells us the reported sales were from a trading plan adopted by the person back in November of 2024. So it's nothing major. He planned on selling these for a particular reason. I don't know why, back in November, which tells us it has nothing to do with what's going on right now. And even if it did, 5,000 shares ain't squat, right? So we wouldn't be panicking in either case. He needed the money for something. So that's about it. We got another Form 4 here. We've got an M. I have no idea what M stands for. That could be options. And then we got a sale. Okay. The M, he acquired 224,000 shares, and then he sold 75,000 shares, which left him with 278,000 shares. Let's see. Trying to get some information here. I don't see anything going on there. I can't give you any real information of what's going on, but it doesn't look like anything I need to be concerned with. And that's what I'm looking for. What do I need to be concerned with? So that's everything we got going on for Gevo, except the chart. Did I skip anything? I don't think I did. Going back to the charts. You know, I love charting more than I love reading filings and news presses. Charting's fun to me. Well, it used to be. I chart so much now, it does get a little overwhelming sometimes, but I really do like charting. So this is Gevo's 1 day, 1 year chart. She's got a big bowl there, don't she? I'm going to get rid of these lines here. We really don't need those. All right, all of them. Ta-da! And then I'm going to hit this high right there. Yep. Oh, look at that. All right, so we are just about ready to hit that high. I bet you she goes for it. I'll bet you she shoots for that high. Almost a year ago, we had a 52-week high of $2.98 when she was well above everything, looking really good. Then she took a sudden downturn, going through everything, and just kept chugging, breaking every single MA, including the 200 MA, till she hit this low of 92 cents. So she lost like 66% of where she was at. From here, she started slowly working her way up, and it's taken months for her to start getting back up here. Now, we are in a 200 squeeze in this area here, so we start to feel a little bit more confidence. We've got a rising 200 haul. We've got our price above the 50, and we've got our rising 200 MA here. So we expect something. Now she took a drop here. Where did she drop to? Just like the other stock. When she gets off the 50 and starts banging her head up against that 200, watch for her to pull back through all the MAs down to the 200 haul, from one 200 to the other 200. Get used to seeing that activity like pinball. She came right from this 200 to this one and bounced. That happens a lot. So she went from $1.16 up to $2.16. So we had a nice rip there, a whole dollar she came up. She came back down to a falling 200 and she stuck up there. Oh my God, this is rare, folks. Now she was rising here. She fell right there. She broke through on a falling 200. She is actually falling right here and trying to level out right here. This is a very unique play. The fact that she came down and leveled off and took off is amazing. She hit our 20-day MA, put herself back on that 9, and she just started climbing, folks. Just missing our 52-week high, pulling back, and she's come down here to a support about, I'm looking over here actually. Let's see if it lines up real close. Right here, we have a support where she hit her head, right? Here, she's banging her head. Here, it's all sitting on it. Bang. I wasn't even looking at this. I was looking over here. So we've got a bounce. She's coming up. Our MAs are all climbing right now. Our 200, our 50, our 20 is just turned around. The steering wheel is turned. It's turning up. Our 200 MA is now climbing. All of our oscillators are cusping. Right now, they're arching up. Everything looks like it's getting ready to launch. I'm getting excited. Can you hear it? Can you hear me? I'm getting excited. Jivo is looking hot to me. I'm probably going to have to add this one to my watch list. Let's come on down to our 6-month, 4-hour view. So we've got a 52-week, or not 52-week, a 6-month low, right? Yep, 6-month low, 6 months ago of 91 cents. And off of that, she has been climbing steady. She has been working herself over that 200, took a crouch here to take a big rip, right? We see that when she's following the 200 above it, not going far. And then all of a sudden, probably for no reason at all, we see her take a big dip down. Chances are it's a crouch and pounce like a cat. It just crouches and then jumps way the heck up there. And you don't know why, except the chart is setting up for it. And she went here from that $1.48 up to $2.21. Back down to our 200, which has been rising. She's bouncing all that, working on the 50, working on the 20. She's getting lighter, hit our high here at $3.30. Came all the way back down to our support at $1.90. She's bouncing off of that. And look, folks, look at all of it. Look at how pretty that is. Look at this. So evenly spread out, nice and even. First crossing of the 200 MA with our 20. Now look, folks, our 200 is falling. Our price, look at these bars. Oh my God, this looks so delicious. This is riding on this 9-day, crossing the 200 MA with our 20 crossing. That's our first golden cross. That's probably going to level out our 200, start to pull it up. We're going to start getting bigger bars most likely, which is going to pull this 50 up, our 200 haul up, crossing our 200, giving us more golden crosses, more turbo power to the price. This thing is probably going to shoot. Now, where do I think this is going to go? Let me back up here and see if we can get something. Well, we've got one line here at 299. We've got another one here. Okay. Looks to me like we've got a few supports and resistances here to consider. Yeah, I like those. So it looks to me like 250, 275. Oh my God, $3 and 328. Real easy numbers there, folks. So this looks like it's ready to hit 250. She breaks at 250. I'd expect her to get to 275 and just keep climbing. Maybe we will see a new high out of this. All of our oscillators are pushing up very, very strong in the 4-hour chart. Taking a look at our 20-day 1-hour. There's your down crouch to that $1.74 and back up across everything, pushing nicely, riding on that 50. Look at that. Nice and easy. This is your hourly chart. So if you're going to be playing GVO tomorrow, watch your hourly chart. Make sure she stays above that 50. She'll come all the way down to it. She will even have bars coming through. But look, none of these bars are completely under the 50. Don't go fretting until the full bar is under. I know this looks scary, but it's still sitting on the 50. We're good. Your wicks can come deep underneath it. As long as your full bar doesn't come underneath, you are in safe zone. So as you're playing GVO tomorrow, whenever you have a panic moment on your 1 minute, 5-minute chart, calm down, back up, look at your 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, see if it looks as pretty as this. This is gorgeous. Now, she has been riding the 50 and the 20. She graduated to the 9. That's not normally what it does. Even here, when she was on the 9, she was hugging the 20. Then the 9 and 20 hugged the 50. It needed extra support. It's getting too far out there. So I anticipate this is going to come back down to the 20, push it down to the 200, get these tight again, get them all nice and tight, and she'll work all three of them and start to climb. Look at our volume. It's been steady every single day. We like to see that. All of our oscillators are warm and getting stronger these last few days. Everything is getting hotter. 5-day, 5-minute. It's a beautiful chart. It's a perfect chart. That's going from a low bubble here to a high bubble there. That's a perfect chart. Whatever happened in the middle, that's perfect. Going from $2 to 242. We've been riding on that 200. See our dips coming through it, but not full bars. Right there. Right there, we had some full bars. This is where we would be watching it. We'd be looking very closely at the undercurrent. When all your bars come down, you're underneath the 9-day, you know you're in the worst position here. There's no more information you can get. What you need to now look at is your oscillators. You need to see what the undercurrent is doing. Is there anything coming up to push things up? We start looking down here for turn around. When your oscillators start coming back up, that's when we can start to look for the price to get up over the 9 MA. You're not going to climb till you're on top of the 9. And with this big drop here, we had volatility come into the picture, so we were going to see some big bounces. You're not going to get one big bounce. You're going to get a couple. Then things will get small, and then it'll pick a direction. So we had a big drop here just to get back on course and go back to what she was doing. Pre-market, aftermarket. The wild, wild west. Be very careful. There's no halts, pre-market, aftermarket. In case you didn't know that, a stock can just keep falling or it can just keep climbing. Nobody's going to stop it like they do during the day. So there you go, folks. This is looking like a hot chart. She's rolling around. GVO, I like it. It is absolutely going on my watch list. I'm not lying about that. I'll be watching GVO tomorrow. Oh, what time is it? My voice is starting to hurt. Yeah, your voice can hurt. A little bit of Monster. Butch Bubek. I'm not going to be able to get to your CDZI. I'm not going to be able to get to anything else, folks. I am tuckered. I am wore out. My voice is shot. I've been trading all day over at Penny Boys, which I do every day. We do this for free with the public on the Stock Wizards Momentum chat page. We are looking for scalps. We're looking for momentum. Stocks that are moving now. Not just me, anybody on the page. We share our information. It's not a competition. It's a community. So if you want to be a part of that, nobody's forcing you to do anything. We're not going to tell you when to get in. We're not going to tell you when to get out because we can't. We're not brokers. We're not licensed to do that. But we can share our opinions. We can tell you what I'm doing. They can tell you what they're doing. We can all cry together or cheer together. Sometimes it's just nice to have other people to trade with. It is. Trading by yourself can be, well, lonely, right? It's always better to have others around when you feel miserable. I thank all of you folks. Luffy, I thank you for being here. I thank you for your question. El Puga, these names. I don't even know why I try mentioning them. El Puga, I appreciate you being here. YouTube treating you bad? Put videos on other platforms. I do have my videos on Odyssey. Odyssey.tv. But they run in a completely different fashion. They run on crypto, and I get paid in crypto, and then I got to pay for things to use on their site in crypto. And it's like, I don't want to do all that. So they gave me like 170 crypto, and they charged me a half a token for every video I put up. So I figure I can get up like, I don't know, 250 videos before I run out of tokens. And that's what I'm doing. So I've got them on YouTube, and I've got them over there at Odyssey TV. It's just a backup. When I didn't have a place, when YouTube had me kicked off, that's where I was putting them, Odyssey. I don't know of any other sites. It's a lot of work, though, to keep putting up these things and keep up with them all and keep up with all the comments. It's just a lot of bloody work. I don't have AI doing it for me. I actually answer everybody. So if I didn't get to you, I'm sorry. If you're asking me to look at stocks, I'm only one guy. There's like 10,000, 20,000 different stocks out there. I can't get around to all of them. Even the stocks I cover, I wish I could come back and follow up on, but I just don't have time. With all that I do, I just don't have time. I try to find time to eat, sleep, and shave. You can see which one I'm not doing. Thanks, folks. We're out of time. I'm out of energy. My brain is starting to fizzle and pop. I can hear it in there. It's been a very long day. Thank you so much. I'll be back here next week, Thursdays. I'm here every Thursday except Thanksgiving. That's why I wasn't here last week. Hope you weren't. 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I think that's all I got to say. I'm out of here. Bye, folks. Home Alone.